So, let me let this run through again, just so it reboots. Okay. So here's, the tear is somewhere in here, and I can see it on the other view. I got a hint of it there. And it goes down, and you can see there's filling in the false lumen. So it's basically, it's a torn and created two separate lumens. One, yeah, that's the whole, what did you think?
I just thought it was on one side.
No, it's basically as if it's created a separate lumen that's now, every time his heart beats, it's pushing blood down this lumen. Now luckily it's stopped, but, so that's basically a false passageway. Whereas the true passageway is actually wide open. Now, and you can actually see some remnants of the false passageway even all the way down there. Now, right now you're doing well. You don't have any problems. Blood seems to be flowing where it needs to be flowing. We're all good. The thing I worry about in the long term, and I'm going to go to this view now. And how's your blood pressure been?
Good. 120/70.
Excellent. So the thing I worry about in the long term is expansion. Because with every heartbeat, and let's see, can I actually see where this comes in? I'm actually looking for, so the thing we'd be worried about is over time, as blood continues to flow through here and kind of pound that, this expands into an aneurysm. And that would be the biggest concern. Right now, at that level, at this level, it measures around 39, probably more like 41 millimeters, which a normal aorta at this level is probably going to be more on the lines of 20, 22. Okay. So the question at hand is to watch and wait, or to go ahead and cover this and extend a stent all the way down to about this level, where it becomes normal, in the interest of avoiding, basically compressing that false lumen back in and avoiding degeneration in the future. Now the reality is this, the data, it's kind of iffy right now. The trend is to currently start intervening on people earlier and actually treating this with a stent in the interest of not running into downstream problems that become so big that they're not fixable by anything other than a large, dangerous operation with a thoracotomy, etc. That's the trend, but the data is not completely there. You're a really young guy. I would be of the mind to be more aggressive in you than less. The concept would be, would you grab one of those thoracic grafts out there? The concept would be to basically go in, go up, and put in a graft that pushes everything back up and out of the way and closes any connections to that false lumen, allowing the aorta, not that one, no, I need that because it's not an aneurysm. No, right. Just one of the actual grafts. Yeah, thanks. And the first part of this graft would basically, can I borrow your pen real quick? Sure. The first part of this graft would look, this paper. So hypothetically, normal aorta, heart down here, normal aorta, and then somewhere in here, you've got a tear. eventually kind of get back to normal down here around your diaphragm. So the tear, and there's probably multiple tears, truth be told. There almost always is multiple tears in a dissection like this. The idea would be to take, yeah, perfect, thank you. Take something probably like this, and to put it up essentially there. And so what that does is you go up, you put a stent graft made of Gore-Tex or Dacron, and it basically, you put the stent graft in like that, and then there's connected to this would be another graft that actually is not covered. It's just bare metal, and the reason for that is to downstream, we're covering all the major fenestrations, all the major entryways for blood here, but downstream we want to go ahead and expand this graft essentially to match the aorta, and then to allow it to heal around that.
Just the plain mesh right in
It'd
here.
be plain mesh right in there.
That would strengthen those walls. That
Yes.
helps support those walls.
Exactly. So it would overlap with something like
I
this.
see.
So risk benefits. There's a risk to every operation. There's a risk this could tear in the opposite direction, although less so because we waited 6 weeks. That's kind of part of the part of this, which is why I pushed you out. This has become less inflamed, so it's a little safer to do now. But there's still risk of undergoing a general anesthesia, etc. Benefit, like I said, is downstream, getting this to shrink versus expanding into an aneurysm and possibly looking at rupture or a major operation, especially in someone that's relatively young. Versus the risk benefits of conservative management, which are essentially, are you recording me? You're not allowed to.
Oh.
Yeah, that's